ultimate buzz moment of madness. It's not the dress that makes you look fat. It's the fat.
Outrageous Talk Radio. 100.7 The Buzz. KQBC, Seattle.
Loveline is meant for an adult audience. Loveline may contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion is advised. Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. Loveline, coast to coast.
It is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew over there. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. Dr. Drew is a board-certified physician and addiction medicine specialist. Tonight, our guest is the host find between each other.
Well, we started out with quite a love fest already.
I was yelling at Drew.
Not just a little bit.
Well, you know what I like to do? Here's what I like to do in life. I like to speak in code, and then when people don't understand me, I like to yell at them for being stupid. I was yelling at Drew about the arrows. The arrows are
God
driving me
forbid,
insane.
if that hadn't been what you meant, and I made an assumption that's what you meant.
Well, you're always wrong with those assumptions. Drew and I yell about the arrows in this godforsaken dump known as Culver City where we work. Actually, working at Westwood One is sort of working in a dump inside of a larger dump. Culver City's a dump because it is one big goddamn arrow. One big red arrow. And for those of you who haven't heard me scream about this a million times, you get one more quick time at this. I understand the left turn arrow so that you can turn left.
The green.
Because, yes, the green left turn arrow during traffic hours, it's important that 5, 6, 8 cars make that left. Otherwise, it starts piling up. That I understand, and I think it's a good idea. You know, not necessary on Sunday at 4 in the morning, but a good idea during traffic times. When that arrow then turns red, there's no reason for that.
Right.
It should go from green to neutral to nothing, which they used to do. Now they turn red. Now I pull up at intersections with a red arrow.
I've forgotten about the neutral one. It was just a green one at the bottom.
Yes.
It would turn on once in a while to help
Here's the way
you out.
they used to do it.
Yeah.
They used to go, hey, it's green, go ahead. Everyone, scoot, scoot, scoot. Go, 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 go.
At the end of the,
and then at the end, it would just turn to nothing, and now you're on your own, just like the old days. You make a left when it's safe to make a left, and when the signal turns yellow or orange or whatever you call it, two of you can scoot by at the end.
I've forgotten about that.
Yes, they used to trust you.
Yes.
Now you pull up to the signal, and it's red. And you look at the light, and the light is green, and you can't see headlights as far as the eye can see in front of you, and you sit there like a jackass waiting to be carjacked in this dump called Culver City, and then you have to wait for the light to completely cycle around again, turn red. Now, what kind of ass are you waiting at a signal for it to turn red when there's no traffic and you're trying to turn left? I run them, and I suggest everyone within the sound of my voice just run that goddamn red. Screw it. F them.
This could be
a
presidential campaign issue.
Run it. I'm not going to sit there like an idiot. Run that red. Run that arrow. Who cares? If you don't see any cars coming, you turn left. That's what you've been doing your whole life. Why is it so dangerous all of a sudden? I ran one on the way here. F it. I'll run it on the way back. F you. F you. I'll do what I want. Jesus Christ. I swear to Christ, you get a ticket for that, too. You should be able to fight it.
Should we talk about your garage now, too, since you're really in a mood about
No, and you know what I saw coming down the hill today? A couple of cops writing a ticket to some 28-year-old secretary who's driving a leased Jetta, who's running a little bit late for work, and rolled through a 4-way stop. Get to work! You do what we want you to do. You hear me? We don't want you to give secretaries tickets for rolling through 4-way stops. We want you to stop crime. That ain't crime.
All right.
Jesus Christ. Who's going to say it? Cops, here's your job. You stop crime. You protect us. Protect us. Jesus Christ. Well, one cop's writing the chick the ticket. What's the other one doing? Sitting in the car. There's not enough. There's not enough cops on the street. We don't have enough. We can't. You hear about this response time. Oh, it takes 45 minutes for the cops to get there. It's busy when you call 911. Then you ask them about it. Why is it that, what about 45 minutes response time? We don't have enough manpower. Really? Why are you parked up Beechwood sitting in the driveway if you don't have enough manpower, sucking on a coffee at 9:30 in the morning? That's manpower. That's man and lady power. There's a man and a woman in that car. Get down the hill and get busy. Jesus Christ. You do what we want you to do. Who's telling these people what to do? Stop crime, not secretaries. Has anyone been terrorized by someone rolling through a four-way stop sign? Whose life has been affected by this? Whose families have been torn apart? Get busy. Don't park and hide. Let me explain something. The only time I want a cop hiding is when you think a crime is going to go down. Not fat chicks rolling through four-ways. I don't want you hiding for that. Don't hide. Get out in the open and stop some crime. Drive me insane. They're hiding. Hey, here's a plan. I got a good plan. All of you go hide. All you cops, go hide somewhere and then write tickets to the folks that pay you. There's a plan. Everyone hide. Hide! The criminals will think you've left town. You guys hide, but don't hide by a bank. Don't hide by a liquor store. Go up the hill and hide. Go up in the nice neighborhood where the white people coast through stop signs. Find those people and bring them down. Oh, geez, the tragedy of a 28-year-old secretary running late for work, Drew. These women must be stopped. Thank goodness these guys were in place. I don't care if they have to stay there for 2 hours. If they can stop these people, well, it's a better place, isn't it? Stop hiding. You want to hide? You hide on the roof of a bank. You hide on the roof of a 7-Eleven. You hide like they hide in the 70s movies. You go undercover. You go hang out at the airport and do something.
You ride around an orange van.
Yeah, don't hide by any stop signs. This drives me insane, Drew. Who decided this was a good plan? Where's our vote in this? Listen, I feel sorry for the guy on the beat. I really do, because you guys have had your nuts cut off by what your captain has had you do, which is go up the hill and hide. How much hiding do you do at the police academy? Do they got a fake stop sign in a hedge where you can hide? Is there a training class in hiding? Listen, the stakeout has been replaced by hiding. I don't like the idea of people that are supposed to protect us hiding to bust us. Get down the hill and get busy. Jesus Christ. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves. One sits in the car and the other goes and explains it. And they got to explain to her what she did wrong. You know what you did, ma'am? Yeah, I'm sorry for rolling. I know, the car has wheels on it. It's confusing. You pull up to a stop sign. First off, don't put the goddamn thing there that says four-way, because that to me means keep going. Four-way don't mean S to me. You can see it's not even a four-way. It's a three-way. It makes a T. So all you got to do is turn your head half a turn to the right. You see that there's no other car at that stop sign. Why should you come to a complete stop there? Answer me. And if it's not a danger, what are you getting a ticket for? Jesus, cops, listen. I like you guys, I do. I don't want you to beat me when you pull me over tonight. But I want you to get busy stopping crime. Stop crime, not secretaries.
Did you have a bad
It drives
experience?
me. No. I'm waiting for my next ticket.
You missed your nap.
I'm waiting for my next.
Okay.
I'm waiting for the next ticket that I get for doing nothing.
Yeah.
For driving through a red arrow that wasn't there a week ago, and I can't see headlights in front of me. It drives me insane. Get busy. Jesus Christ. Eventually, they're just going to assign you your own cop. You ride in your back seat and write your tickets as you drive.
Why not during the break? Why don't you go out and, like, just tool around the block about 3 times, go through as many red arrows as you can, just to get that feeling out? You know? I
don't believe you should be able to write somebody a ticket for something that's not dangerous.
Don't you think you got to get that out of your system? Go out there and just run through a bunch of red arrows?
I run through them all the time,
during the break,
every day. And I suggest everyone else does too. Run them. Run them. Don't sit there like a jackass. Run them. You're sitting there, the light is green, there's no cars in front of you, you can't turn left. Why not? Run it. Run it, everybody. Please. If everyone did it, we'd be fine. Everyone do it. Please. Just do it.
Civil disobedience.
Against stuff that doesn't make sense. I mean, we had civil disobedience against these Jim Crow laws. It was wrong to segregate.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in hindsight, it doesn't seem like such a bad idea. But back then, we knew it was wrong. You see what I'm saying? And what did we do? We stood up. It's illegal. Illegal for the blacks to ride in the front of the bus, but they did it. And we praised them for that. This is no different. I'm the Rosa Parks of arrows, everyone. Turn left on that arrow.
Of four-way stop signs.
Stand up before I take a bullet in some motel balcony. Stand up for yourself. Take that nut you used to have and pull it out of your pants and turn left. No reason for that arrow. All right.
Jeff?
Abscess.
Thank you. You're 27.
That's right.
What's up?
I talked to you back in February. It was actually right around my birthday.
Oh, and, that's right.
A couple buddies of mine have this thing that they do in Vegas. We were going to Vegas for my birthday.
Right.
And they all they do this big gag where they take one of the casino cups where the change that you collect it goes in. They take it in the bathroom and they take a dump in it. Then they sprinkle nickels on the top of it and leave it by a machine and wait for someone to jam their hand down in there, and then they clown and laugh and stuff.
Wait.
And I mean, so I called in and
that's good.
It's good.
Yeah, I thought. I mean, personally, it's kind of funny, but
yeah, I think it's funny.
Do
you laugh and then run? I mean, don't people react to this?
Oh yeah. But I mean, it's usually old people and stuff, and they just what are they going to do? They get out of. They don't do it at the casino they're staying at. But the whole
right.
thing,
Well, you don't ask where you gamble, as my grandfather used to tell me.
Well, but see, now they're going to a whole new level with this. And what they want to do is, instead of going in the cup...
Oh, wait a minute. I know. They actually eat a roll of nickels and then pass those into the cup, so it's actually embedded in the poo.
In the stool, yeah.
You think? Is that what it is?
No, not quite.
Well, look at these two.
They want to get it in a napkin or like a paper towel or something.
Yeah.
And sneak it into the buffet.
Yeah.
And then put it in some of the spaghetti or the pudding.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
See, that's.
I got a better plan. Why don't they just make a big S bomb and have it go off in the casino? That way they can cover
Jeff,
everyone with S.
Did you ever go to the zoo?
The zoo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever stood outside like a chimpanzee cage or anything?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You see what they start doing there?
Do they make fun of you?
They throw it at each other and stuff.
Yeah.
We're there. This what's happened now. We're finally there as a society.
Hey, Jeff, listen to me. Listen to me, you screwball. I understand your friends have a fixation with poo. Lord knows I went through that phase. Maybe it was in high school was the problem. But even I passed through it. Pardon the pun.
Literally, yes.
And here's the deal. I don't mind some old folks getting a handful of Duke. That's funny to me. But crapping in the...
chocolate pudding.
Yeah, making the S on a shingle, literally, is not a great plan. If people get sick, you could kill somebody.
Okay, well...
You understand?
Yeah,
and I like to go to casinos and eat. So I don't want to be thinking about that next time I reach for a ladle of brown gravy. You understand me, you jackass?
I agree. No, I agree.
All right, listen. Hey,
I wasn't
Jeff,
down with it.
Jeff, listen to me. You're 20. You're 27.
Yeah.
You got to focus on getting laid.
Well, I'm hoping now they hear you say it because, you rule and we're all like, yeah, Adam would think it's funny. But, I tell him, hey, look.
He would think it's funny.
Listen, you're talking to a guy who put a jacuzzi jet in his ass and squirted it at his friend and thought it was funny. But even I won't crap in a salad bar.
Okay, you just throw poo water right on their head.
Yeah.
Yeah, poo jacuzzi water.
It was a while ago, Drew. I don't remember
that's
exactly
how you got
how it went.
That may be how you get your perirectal abscess.
Oh, for Christ's sake. I was in high school. What are you talking about? Hold on. How dare you? How dare you? I didn't get the double pump in before I began. I'll try that again. How dare you? How dare you? Wow. That was like, I should get an Emmy for that one. That was serious.
Okay.
You had like a triple pump at the beginning, and then my voice cracked a little as if I was crying at the second one. Anderson, can we hear that? Do you got that? I mean, that was strong, Drew. Listen to this. I could be in a soap. I really could. Uh-oh. How dare you? How dare you? Thank you.
James?
Yeah?
You're 19. What's up?
Hey, what's up, Adam?
Hey.
Hey, what's up, James?
Hey, what's up, James?
Not much. You're my second favorite Jewish comedian, Adam.
Thank you.
Jewish.
I'm not Jewish, though.
Who's your first favorite?
Jon Stewart.
Yeah. He's Jewish, and he's funny.
I thought you were Jewish.
No. I may be your favorite Gentile comedian now. Who's your favorite Gentile comedian?
I don't have one, actually.
Well,
there you go.
You're talking to him now, brother.
The Great Spudini.
The Great Spudini, number one, Jon Stewart, favorite Jew. I'm going to tell him that. I'm going to see him next week, I think.
Okay.
What's up?
About 3 years ago, there was a shooting at my high school, and that has left me kind of not quite right in the head, sort of.
What happened at the high school?
Well, there was this kid who was mentally messed up, and he got caught on campus with a gun. And unfortunately, they couldn't do anything, so he was out 24 hours, like 12 hours later. And so he came back after killing his parents and injured 23 students and killed 2 other ones.
Oh, Springfield, Oregon, huh?
Yeah. It was about 11 months before Columbine.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And his parents were like teachers?
His parents were teachers.
And they were like real normal and everything, and it was kind of weird to try to figure out where the link was? What Drew and I do when we hear these stories is try to figure out where's the abuse, where's the love line in this.
Well, it was proven parts of his brain were missing. He was screwed up.
So he had some
okay, serious, and you can never rule that out. I mean, that trumps everything.
Right, some real neurologic problems.
All right, and that you were where when this happened?
I was in the band room at the time, and I actually saw one of the students who died get shot in the head.
Wow.
And that kind of...
Okay, well, that will give you something called a post-traumatic stress reaction and all kinds of mood disturbances and panic and anxiety. So really, you need to get that treated, James. That's awful. That's awful. You doing okay in school and stuff?
Well, I actually graduated last year.
Where are you going on?
I'm looking to go into the local community college.
Oh, please get yourself a medical evaluation immediately, son.
Okay,
please.
Adam, you have a very wrong opinion about community college.
Yes, I know. They're wonderful institutions of higher learning.
I actually plan on moving to the University of Oregon in 2 years.
Yes, James.
Yes.
I don't mean to kick a man while he's down, but everyone who enters that junior college, like my good buddy, John Gillingham, who I spoke to last night, who wanted to use my party house to hold his engagement party. I spoke to at 12:30 last night. I said, what are you doing up so late, John? He said, I'm doing some calculus homework. Still
35.
35, I'll be 37 in 3 months.
Wow.
Still at the junior college.
Wow.
Yes, it's heroin. It's heroin for the retarded. It keeps you locked in. You can't get out. Once you go through those doors. My buddy John in 1982 thought he was going to be at UCLA in 1984, 1985. It's now, what year is it now? 2001?
Too much pot? What is it?
Here's what it is. The reason you're going to junior college is because you're a bad student. Who are you kidding?
I see.
Who are you kidding? That's why you're there. And that's exactly why you don't transfer and go off to a 4-year college. I'm just saying, save yourself some time, admit it, and get a job. That's all. Do what all the other stupid people like me do.
We'll be back.
Hi, this is Bobcat Goldthwait, and you're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. Can I go now?
Yes, you is. And you'll be listening to Bobcat in the flesh tomorrow when he's in the Loveline studio. Phone number 1-800-LVE-191. Ready to pound on here, Drew?
Sure.
Mike?
Yeah.
Use 21.
Yeah.
No, we can't. The phone is impossible.
I'll tell you, between the phone and your demeanor, Mike, we may be in a lot of trouble.
What?
Ooh. Now, we're going to put you back on... Mike, you've been on hold for 70 minutes.
Yeah. What's up with that?
When I was 19, I ate about 4 boiled peyote buttons.
Mike, I'd like you to hang up the phone.
What?
Because we have a bad connection.
Well, fuck.
Well, that was nice.
Engineer Mike. Poor he's got his work cut out for him tonight. All Okay, let's get back to the phones. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Speak to Kyle, who's 14. Kyle plays in a band. Kyle?
Yeah, I play in a band, all right.
What's the name of your band?
It's KOB, Kings of Blazing.
Of Blazing?
Yeah.
That's nice. I mean, like acid?
Blazing, no, Bud, Pot.
Oh, that Bud, yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh, you're high now. Right. You're loaded now, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do it, like, every day.
Okay. No kidding. How come your parents don't notice that? Look.
No way.
I do it at school, too.
Good, okay. Well, we're impressed. So.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No, seriously, how do your parents not know you're baked?
I don't know. They just don't know.
Maybe they don't care, right?
I don't know. They probably do it.
Oh, they smoke weed too, you think?
I don't know.
Yeah,
that'd be bad if they did.
Really? Why?
I don't know. Smoke them out.
Oh, you don't have to smoke out with them, though. But okay, so anyway, you smoke a ton of weed. You're in a band.
Yeah, Kyle, just for the sake of information, that there is good evidence that under the age of 15, pot does do something to your brain.
Yeah?
It doesn't. It's the part of your brain, your right frontal part of the brain, the part you use to develop with, doesn't grow. Maybe even shrinks.
I know it, like, hurts me and all, but I still like doing it.
Yeah, I understand that. I get that. I get that part.
It's like...
Well, Kyle, if you like doing it, then that's cool.
All right. All right, so I play in a band, and, I play guitar, and, we're, pretty popular band around school and stuff, and, we're playing... When we play at concerts, the amps are so high, the vibrations just, get to me, and, just hit, I don't know, for some reason my testicle just, starts hurting.
Yeah.
And, I play football for, PE. And, I'll, turn left, and then, sometimes it'll just start hurting, and I'll have to, sit down, and, everybody will be like, what happened? I'm all, I hurt my back.
No, you need to have a doctor look at that. It could be a lot of different things.
Could it be the weed?
No, that's the one thing it probably isn't. It could be a hernia, it could be a torsion,
I don't know.
It could be a tumor, it could be a lot of things.
This is out there theory, but do you use a bong?
I use everything.
Yeah, see, sometimes guys have those long bongs. This happened to a friend of mine.
Sucked his testy right into it?
Well, yeah, he got his nut cut in the carb. He was, you put the bong kind of between your legs and you lean back.
Yeah.
And the carb was a little low, and he was doing a load in his underpants, and he was sucking it pretty good because there was a lot of resins in the stem, and his finger slipped off the carb because it was greasy from some nachos he ate, and one of his nuts actually sucked inside of the carb, and then he actually inhaled his sack.
Oh, that's good.
And it was tough getting it out of there.
Out of his throat.
Well, I remember doing the second load with his nuts in there because it was golden. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't want to waste it.
I don't want to waste.
I just want to say, also, Adam, I heard Israel. I've been listening forever.
Yeah.
And Drew.
Yeah.
That one kid that called you asshole and stuff. Oh man, that guy's a jerk. If you weren't here,
asshole. Well, thanks, Kyle. But you know what? His memory's better than ours. I don't know what he's talking about.
I know, it's amazing. He smokes a ton of weed, and he's twice as lucid as we are. That's age. Kyle, easy on the weed. Go to the doctor for the nut sack. And here's the deal, by the way. When you're on stage, your nuts will take a pounding. And if you're on stage in front of a large group, especially as a young lad, you should be stuffing multiple tube socks down your underpants anyway.
Not just to depress people, but to protect your testes from the vibrations.
Acoustic sound waves. Right. So I'm sure if you take your nuts and you go ahead and you wrap them in bubble paper, that's what I do whenever I go out on stage, because I don't want to get hit with a bottle from 20 rows back right in the groin, That'll help protect it.
Yeah.
Al?
High school.
Yeah, hello?
You're 18. What's up?
Yeah, I was at work the other day and we were discussing, stupid stuff. And all of a sudden some guy told me that that every, year you should go get your, rectum cleaned out.
Why, Al? Why? What would that do?
I don't know. He just told me, dude, you should go do that because it'll clean out your system.
Clean out what? That is outside your body.
You mean like an enema?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. He says that like the doctors would like go clean with the proctologist.
No, Al, please, no.
Like to not to get like infections and stuff.
No.
All right.
Who do you work with? Who is this guy?
I work in the kitchen. I work in the hospital, actually. In the hospital, in the kitchen. And like this guy was just like, he said, no, some nurse told me this, and I'm like, are you serious? He's like, yeah.
How bad is that hospital food?
Oh, it's bad, dude.
Oh, hey, it ain't nothing compared to what it was in the 70s and 80s. Let me tell you something.
Really? Yeah.
Oh, no.
Everything was
hugely
bad.
improved.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know what food was like at your school, but you went to a decent school. Did they have decent
food? College?
No, not in college. In like high school, junior high?
No, they had a lunch truck.
Oh, the lunch truck?
Yeah, same guy that go to your construction site.
Still a step up from what you'd get over at the city school. Mary?
Yeah, I'm here.
You're 22?
I'm 22.
What's that?
Well, I get sick all the time. In the last 6 months, I've been sick about 8 times.
What do you mean sick?
Just like having colds, like I have a cold right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I always get fevers. And I'm just wondering, why. I mean, I get even near to someone that has a cold, and then I get it. And, I don't know if I'm anemic or I don't know.
Do you have any medical problems that would put you at risk for infection?
Well, I'm bulimic.
Oh, by the way. Yeah, of course. That's a terrible stress to your system, and it makes it difficulty for your immune system to function. So naturally enough, you come in contact with infection, you're going to get it. And you'll have more complications from the infections, too.
What can I do about it?
You can get your bulimia treated.
Okay. Anything else?
No, wait, stop for a second. Put her on hold, please. Just for a second. Please.
Okay.
I have to talk about it. Why? That's the reaction that really pisses me off. Why does? And that's the denial piece that really I get so frustrated with.
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know.
You don't care.
Oh, I care, but I just don't care to care.
I care because that's the part that prevents her from getting well. It's like, well, go at my chronic disease. I mean, why would I do that?
Okay. Well, let me yell at her. Where is she? Line 4. Hey, Mary?
Yeah?
You need to handle your bulimia and then worry about all the little crap that you're worrying about now instead of worrying about your bulimia.
That's what we call rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. Okay? The colds, deck chairs. Titanic going down because of bulimia. Okay? All
right. So get yourself some help.
Thank you.
You're calling from Van Nuys?
Yeah.
Oh, get out of that hellhole.
First and foremost.
Dump city.
I'm getting a little bulimic just thinking about
Where do you live in Van Nuys?
Around Sherman Way.
No!
I know, it's horrible.
Oh. What a pit. Get out of there.
Tell me about it.
Well, get out of there.
Yeah.
Go to Sherman Oaks.
I will.
Please.
I will.
I'm going to tell all you people, you live in these hellholes and you don't even care. This Van Nuys is a dump. I grew up in North Hollywood. That was a dump. I had friends in Van Nuys. I worked in Van Nuys. It's a horrible place. Van Nuys means, it actually means hellhole in Spanish.
Does it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's, well, good. It's properly named.
The point is if you can scrape together another $65 a month rent, you can slide over to Sherman Oaks and you'll be fine. And, handle your bulimia while you're at it. David?
Yeah.
You're 28?
Yeah.
What's up?
Wanted to ask a question. A friend of mine, he cooked up some Coke and put it in a sterile water vial. I didn't use the same needle. I used my own needles, but I used the same vial. What are the chances, or is it a high risk of catching anything from using the same vial?
Is he using the same needle over and over?
No. Using the same vial that he had put the Coke in.
Is he using the same? Who else is using that vial?
I don't know. He said he didn't use the vial, but just out of curiosity, if you were to use the same vial.
I mean, if somebody used a sterile needle every time they drew out of that vial, obviously the needles are all sterile. Obviously you can't introduce any bacteria or viruses into that vial.
But if he had used the same needle over.
If he used the same needle over, it's the same as you're sharing a needle with him.
Oh, really? What about collapsed veins? How do they come back, or are they gone after they're
Well, they're not collapsed. They're clotted. And that's it. They're scarred up, and that's the end of it.
Oh, you hear collapse, but it's a misnomer.
Yeah,
I mean, they're not collapsed.
They're clotted. They're
scar tissue.
Scarred up in the clot. I guess they can recanalize sometimes, but for the most part, that's it.
Now, you say he cooks up the Coke, and then he puts it into a sterile vial?
Yeah, sterile vial, where it was an empty sterile water vial, and he put it in there.
How about dealing with your disease, your addiction disease?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to deal with right now.
And where are you going for that?
I just checked out a couple of places right now.
Well, the important thing in terms of most, you live in San Francisco, the Haight-Ashbury Free Clinic has got really good services up there. Check out what they've got, and don't waste any time. Just go before you accidentally do get exposed to something that might be irreversibly life-threatening.
All right.
The hard part with addiction is getting going. So if you're thinking about it, just take your butt up there and do it.
All right, thanks.
Okay?
All right, take care of yourself. All right. Oh, shooting Coke. Just shooting anything. Oh, I mean, it's just, it's so brutal. It's such an easy way to die, right? I mean, it's not...
Listen, it's the smoking heroin, easy way to die. Smoking cocaine, easy way to die.
Yeah, but
these are all easy ways to die.
Easier to do it shooting, right?
Yeah.
Because you have a whole dangerous application part that you're missing with the other part, right?
Yeah.
All right. Smoking heroin, easy way to die?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Really?
I kind of have a suspicion that's what that one was that we talked earlier.
Easier to die smoking than shooting heroin?
No.
Easier to die smoking Coke than shooting Coke? Maybe.
Heart
problems?
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You haven't talked to Chris. He's been on hold for a long time, right?
All right. I just got a bad feeling about the boy. That's all. Chris?
How long has he been on hold?
112 minutes and 32 seconds.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Why shouldn't you all suffer like me? That's going to be the name of my next book. Chris, what's up?
Hi, I'm Charlie.
Oh,
listen.
Your instincts were good, Adam.
Chris, are you retarded?
Uh-huh.
Are you?
Uh-huh.
He said his name was Charlie.
Well, maybe he's retarded. I don't want to make fun of him. Are you
Adam is retarded.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? Even though it's a prank call, the guy's been on hold for 112 minutes.
Serves him right. We have good instincts.
I know, but I still feel like we owe him something.
No, come on.
Come on.
You really are out. You're high. I swear to God you're high tonight.
Oh, I wish I was.
All right. Paul, you're 18.
Hi.
Everything's painful now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's up?
I got one quick comment on just the atheism. I have to say I've been through that stage, and it's not that fun, but I don't know. Hopefully you'll get through it too. But anyway.
Where'd you find Jesus? In prison?
What?
Where was Jesus when you found him?
Jesus was just right here where you and I are.
Okay, but what'd you have to do? Go through rehab or something first?
A rehab, no.
Nobody finds Jesus unless the wheels fall off the wagon, so what happened?
Oh, well, that's why 99% of the world believes in Jesus, right? Or a God.
Right. But
right?
No, some get indoctrinated into it early on in life, and then others wait for a tragedy later on in life to get into it.
You know, I agree with a lot of the things you're saying. Most of the belief in God comes from fear and nowhere else to look, and you don't want to put all the responsibility on yourself, so you ask God to help you.
Right. Well, what got you into it?
What got me into it?
Yeah.
It's just like everyone else, tragedy. Because no one ever asks for help until
that's what I was saying. What happened?
They need it. Well, I went to a doctor. I went through a phase where I was having panic attacks, like daily at school, and I went through a living hell basically.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was I had a lot of friends that all did drugs.
Were you doing drugs?
I was raised in a strict Catholic home. That's my little brother.
Were you doing drugs?
Don't
think he's outing you.
Okay, hello?
Yeah.
So anyway, I went through that, and so...
Well, that kid is a pain in the ass.
I had to deal with that.
You would love this guy. This guy's the greatest brother you can have.
I would kick his ass up and down the hall.
I do. Don't worry about it.
All right.
But anyway, I went through a lot of crap, and I started to smoke marijuana with him for about a week, and I actually hallucinated, and I was talking with a priest counselor in my school, and I thought I saw the hand of God, and I flipped out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to this, they took me to this hospital, and they diagnosed me as manic depressive or whatever.
All right. So be careful, Paul. You've got a serious illness. I mean, that's...
Yeah. Oh, was that Dr. Drew?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I definitely agree with you. It is a serious illness, but the thing I don't agree with the pharmaceutical companies and the psychiatrists about is that it's a
I think
permanent.
he's on a pirate ship or something.
Paul, unless it was induced by the drugs you were using, it's not something for you to decide to believe or not to believe. It just happens to be a fact.
And let me tell you about God.
Yeah, that may be...
God invented the pharmaceutical companies and the scientists who work for them, right, Drew? It's just you know what I mean? It's just one step removed.
It's not useful to get in these big arguments and stuff, but that's the fact. I mean, this is just the way this condition is.
Yeah.
And if indeed God could take it away, it wouldn't exist in all the millions of people that have it, because many of them ask for God to take it away, and he can't.
Now, what would you say to somebody who says, well, I know I need help, but I'm afraid to, find it because if they can't fix me, I don't want to know.
Eventually, they get sick enough that they have to get help.
So you really can't talk. I mean, they have to do it for themselves.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Paul?
Yeah.
Did you take care of that brother of yours?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's Beelzebub, that kid.
What's that?
Okay. So are you all right now?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah, my mom just came out on a trip.
Okay, take care of her. Take care of yourself. If you need the pharmaceuticals, take those.
Well, anyway, what I wanted to say to Dr. Drew is that about how to find courage.
Mm-hmm.
I think definitely a lot of it has to do with the way that what we put in our body. I think that some of the drugs that we use for manic depression are treating the symptoms and not the cause. Because I was totally malnutrition my whole life, and the doctor said that I was, manic depressive. I ate nothing but cold cereal and milk,
Right. Well, listen, I'm with you on this one. I know Drew isn't, but listen, if you got some kid who's having physical problems or emotional problems and he's living off a steady diet of Pepsi and corn dogs, it certainly couldn't help. It couldn't hurt, I should say, to balance the kid's diet out.
Of course.
You do?
Of course. Especially, listen, people with bipolar illness have a very delicate chemistry, and even like a cold can set them off. So, of course, nutrition can really set them off, too.
Jennifer?
She's got to be sleeping.
Scared of the dark and can't sleep at night. It's ironic that she may be sleeping now. No greater tribute you can pay to a radio show host than to fall asleep.
Maybe this is the way she should deal with
start listening to the show. More powerful than any sedative. Adam's Garbage Man story again. Hey, listen, you kids any of you insomniacs, any folks out there that are having difficulty sleeping, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll set up a little time, let's say a few nights from now, where I tell one of my famous high school football stories.
Oof.
And then what you do is I'll tell the story about me hitting a home run in high school with a bloody nose.
Oh.
This is a great story. I've told it many, many times on the air. Now, what you do is you record this, and then you can take it with you when you travel. You can play it on weekends.
I have it in bed one day. We should create one of those, those little sound machines that create background noises.
Right.
One of the settings could be Carolla Stories.
Adam, it's called. It says it'll be called AR. Adam Rambles.
And there's just a little sign of little insignia of a football there.
No, it's like a Brillo head on a microphone. Right? And it just sounds like this. Okay, here's what you would hear. So it'd be like rain, babbling brook, autumn in New England, and then Adam rambles.
Yes.
And in that setting, it would be like, blah, 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 garbage man, blah, 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 taxes, blah, 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 kiss my ass, blah, 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 parking enforcement personnel, blah, 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 dad, blah, 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 grandma, blah, 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 ma, blah, 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 football, blah, 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 baseball, blah, 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 construction, blah, 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 Loveline, blah, 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 not getting paid enough, blah, 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 kiss my ass.
Literally a millionaire.
Blah, 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 literally a millionaire.
Boring.
I mean, don't you think that'd put him right down? That'd be like a tranquilizer dart.
Oh, could create some awful flashbacks, though, too.
Yeah.
You have to be real careful with it. It's one of these things that go
You
bad.
start having bad dreams. All right.
Let's do this one. This is Marty.
Marty, you're on Loveline.
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Good. Get off the frickin' speakerphone.
Okay, hold on a second, man. My car looks picked up. I'm going to see if I can get it back to work.
Great.
Hello.
There you go.
Hey, Marty.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Good. You got.
They love the show.
Thanks. You got one of those horrible cordless phones?
Sure do.
Yeah, you know, on the picture of the box, it shows the guy with the phone like strolling down to the mailbox, then going up to the 7-Eleven to buy a 6-pack and stuff. And I get 4 feet from the stupid antenna and the thing's breaking up. I'm hearing like some kind of ham radio.
Well, I got to have the 2 antennas touching, otherwise I can't hear you.
Oh, jeez, I know. It's no bigger scam in the world than those godforsaken cordless phones. They show the guy out on the raft floating in the pool, the guy going on vacation bringing the phone with him. All right, Marty, I'm glad we've exposed that. Now, what's your problem?
I was wondering if Dr. Drew can tell me the actual process of what an addict has to go through for recovery.
For yourself?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure I understand exactly what you're asking. It really depends, I think, if I get what you're asking me, to a large extent on how severe someone's disease is. I mean, much of the early part of the treatment is just getting some people medically over the hump and detoxed. Okay, after that, there is really an attempt to sort of deal with, in a what we call a multidisciplinary manner, all the stressors, interpersonal problems, psychological problems, psychiatric problems that an individual has.
All right, I'm going to put this in English.
Wait, and then
you're confusing everyone.
And then
Drew.
connect that person.
Here comes Adam.
And then connect that person and teach them about the 12-step recovery process.
Uh-huh.
All right. Did you understand that Japanese?
Not
No, of course you didn't, Marty.
No,
but I'm
Dr. Drew.
No, he's a brilliant.
Right over the head.
He's a brilliant guy, but I understand him. I'm going to act as the go-between, the liaison between Marty and Drew. Interpreter. What Drew's saying is, first thing you do is you cure the medical problem. Right. You get them off of the substance.
Right. You get them so they can think again.
So
and
they can think again. You get them to stop shooting up or dropping or whatever it is they're doing. Then the next step is you go check out why they're doing it from a psychological standpoint.
In fact,
Drew, you're making me look like a big ass now.
That's one of the fallacies, is that addicts do it because they're addicts, but there are things contributing to the intensity which they use, the drive to go back to it.
Well, that's a psychological.
Yeah, but it's not why they use. It's the factors that affect the evolution of the disease. They use because they're an addict.
But let me give you an example. You get them off the heroin, and then you find out they were, molested or something, and then you address that problem.
Correct.
The psychological
yes.
aspect. Well, then why are you saying no?
Because that's not why they use. Other people that are not addicts who are sexually molested do not become addicts. Addicts become addicts because they're addicts.
Yeah, well,
you're very passive-aggressive, Drew.
I'm not. I'm very directly aggressive. Marty?
Yes.
It's a long process. Why it takes so damn long? Because it's very involved, and it works. If you're mildly on in the disease and you don't have a lot of psychological problems, you're physically okay, just go to meetings. Do the basics, get a sponsor, and you'll understand very quickly what the process is, okay?
All right, Marty.
What's the definition of an addict, real quick?
My definition is somebody who has a family history, parent or grandparents, ongoing use, progressive use and preoccupation in the face of adverse consequences, usually relationships, financial, legal, health, or work or school. And then the third is some degree of denial about either that you're an addict or that the consequences are related to the use, or the most common kind of denial is what's required to stop. Most people these days are able to identify as an addict, but then say, well, I'm just going to stop using that substance, it won't be a problem. Well, guess what? If you're an addict, that's the very fact that if you could just stop it, if I just had to convince you had to stop, there would not be addiction.
All right, now you got to stop.
I'm done.
Because we got to go to commercials. We'll be back with more Loveline after this.
Loveline will be right back when we're damn good and ready.
Hey, everybody, it's the Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That's Dr. Drew over there. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Steph is here from the Deftones, as well as Be Real from Cypress Hill. They're both on the bill this Saturday, along with, and I don't have time to name all of them, but Busta Rhymes and NoFX and Fear Factory and Red Man and Method Man and Suicidal Tendencies, Afro Man, Long Beach Dub All-Stars, Rumblefish. That's half the people that are on the main stage, and then there's a second stage and a dance tent, and that's all at the Glen Helen Blockbuster Pavilion, which is this Saturday, all ages, in Los Angeles. Well, Glen Helen Regional Park or something. Is that where that is? What the hell is that, San Bernardino?
Yeah, San Bernardino.
All right. That gates open at 10. The tickets are discounted, and it's all ages. So get on, bring the kids, bring Grandma.
Get off your ass and go.
And enjoy yourself, please. It's time. Kristen?
Yes.
You're 30?
Yeah.
What's up?
Yesterday morning, I walked out front to the yard, and my friend was sitting there with blood coming out of her leg. When I asked her what happened, she said she had no idea. She didn't really even realize that anything was happening. I took her to emergency about 4 or 5 hours later, and
What happened in those intervening 4 or 5 hours?
she was just pretty dazed, and kind of her equilibrium was off.
But why did you wait so long and take her to the ER?
Because she was waiting for a prescription to be filled.
Oh, for what?
Ultram.
She's on pain meds. What is she on pain meds for?
She's had 4 back surgeries.
So she's a drug addict.
No.
Yes.
Not at all.
Yes, she's taking pain medicines chronically. So
why was she on your front lawn?
No. She was sitting on the patio. She was going to have a cigarette, and when I walked out there, she had fallen.
Oh, do you live with her?
No, she's up here visiting me.
Okay.
She's taking, what other medicines is she taking?
Ultram and propofol.
Propranolol?
Yes.
You sure?
For anxiety.
Yeah, see, she's taking a bunch I bet she's taking even more than that.
All right, so she took a spill.
This is a drug-related spill.
No, she woke up.
All right, well, no. Well, then what? Then you tell us what's the problem.
It was 10 o'clock in the morning, and I walked out there, and she was sitting there on the ground. The ashtray had broken, and something had cut her leg, and there was blood. And I asked her what happened, and she said, there were people arguing, and I had to show them what's up. And Kelly she doesn't talk like that.
All right.
And when I asked a little bit later, I put a Band-Aid on it, and she asked what the Band-Aid was for. And I said, well, don't you remember? You fell. She had no idea what I was talking about. Like, I told her the story 3 times.
Kristen, this is a drug-related experience. That's what this is. I don't know what drug she's taken, but that's what this is.
But, Kristen, what point are you trying to make?
We went to the doctor.
I've been trying to. Yeah, what are you trying to?
We went to the emergency room.
And they told you. They told you she'd probably taken some medication or drugs.
No,
right?
no. They said because they asked, what kind of drugs do you do? Da, da, da. We said, smoke pot. And so the doctors pretty much, boom, right there. You smoke pot, you probably smoked something that was laced with PCP.
Okay, but Kristen, I want to make a strong point to you. I'm a doctor. I'm telling you it's a drug-related thing. You went to the ER. They told you it was a drug-related thing.
No.
Yeah.
No, I told her 5 times what happened to her, and she didn't understand. And then she ate a bundt cake, and she tried to attack me with one of those cake spatulas. Okay?
That's not what happened.
And I put a Band-Aid on her knee, and she chewed it off.
So they at the ER were all trying to...
No. She said there were some people out there, and she had to do what was right, and she never talks that way. But no.
And so in the ER...
No.
They told her that she'd probably taken somebody giving her some PCP or something.
No, not drugs. No. Then she thought she was Kazoo from the Flintstones. No. And she hovered over my shoulder, giving me advice.
Calling me dum-dum.
And sometimes Fred. Kristen?
Flintstone.
Fred Flintstone.
No, just Flintstone.
Oh, he called him just Flintstone. That's right. Kazoo called him. Was it Kazoo?
Dum-Dum and Flintstone.
That's right. Hey, Kristen?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe it was a drug-related thing. I don't know.
But wouldn't that have shown in the doctor's report when they did a blood and urine
and
EKG?
Nope.
No.
Why not?
Because they have to test for specific things, and if you didn't tell them that she was, what you told her she smoked pots. They didn't need to test for that.
I told them that no, but I told them that she took some medication.
Yeah, and that's all they need to know.
Anxiety pills.
Yeah, well, that's all they need to know is that she's taken medicine and that she smoked pot, and that's enough to make her pass out.
But Kristen, let me what are you asking? Do you think she has a tumor, like a brain tumor or something?
Right. Yes, I was, pulled out the medical book, and it sounds like a stroke.
No, absolutely not.
All the symptoms.
No, it's not. I'm telling you what it was. The ER told you what it was. Go ahead, Dr. Kristen. You go ahead and make your own diagnosis.
What do you do for a living, Kristen?
I work in human resources for a computer company.
All right, but that's got nothing to do with medicine, right?
No, but...
All right. Well, why don't you get her... No. Why don't you get her... Maybe she should get a CAT scan then if you're so convinced. I mean, it couldn't hurt, right?
No.
Right, but then why don't the doctors do it? Why didn't they, give any suggestions? Why was it the minute she said she smoked pot, he kind of wrote it off?
Because you can do a neurologic exam there in the ER that can pretty effectively rule out, decrease substantially the probability that there's a tumor there. And the story here is so characteristic of substance.
Hold on a
second.
second.
Characteristic.
Everybody, just close your eyes for one moment. Picture yourself a doctor, and just picture Kristen and her friend coming in.
Yelling at you, yeah. Carrying on.
Chain smoking in the hospital, yelling no at you. No! Chewing gum, smoking Marlboro Reds, and yelling no at you, and you're pretty much sizing them up. Smell like beer. It's noon. You know what I mean? They got the 68 Dodge Dart running out in the parking lot. You just pretty much, you smoked some weed, you got disoriented, you fell down.
Well, no. It says she's taking her anxiety medicines and her pain medicines and her multiple back surgeries, and she's doing more than Kristen even knows. That's for sure.
And here's the other thing too, Kristen. Why is she living with you?
No, she came up...
No. No.
By the way...
Oh, my God.
Well, you do say no a lot.
You do say no a lot.
Every sentence is begun with no.
She's visiting you, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
How's her life going?
Yes.
Thank you. How's her life going other than this?
Not so well.
All right. So there's
she just relocated down to L.A.
Okay.
After being laid off up here.
Okay. And why'd she get laid off?
Because she worked for a computer company and they're all doing it.
No. Okay. All right. Kristen, I think I understand you're her friend and you're trying to help her, and I think your efforts would be better directed at what we think and what those doctors think is probably the real problem, which is more the drugs than it is the tumor angle.
Right. She's doing more than you know. That's
no.
No.
And here's how you deliver it. She's doing more than you. No. All right. We're going to take ourselves a little break. No. Yes. And we'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Karen?
Hello?
You're 20. What's up?
Oh, I didn't know you were it's Karen.
Yeah,
right.
Karen, go.
Yeah. I get, these pains in my chest sometimes. I know that you could have, this type of, heart attack thing. Because, this minor heart attack or something.
Not at 20. Not at 20. Not unless you're doing something to yourself.
No, because I take, I'll take valproic acid.
Mm-hmm. You're bipolar?
No.
Do you have a seizure disorder?
No. My mom just wanted me to see this doctor in another country, and...
All right, well, Karen, the Depakote or valproic acid is for either seizures or really mood stabilizing for manic depression.
First off, they don't have doctors in other countries except for Canada, where the Nickelback is from, by the way. All the other doctors from the other countries come here to be our doctors.
Well, my mom doesn't believe the doctor's here.
Where did you go?
Huh?
Where did you go?
I went to Nicaragua.
To see the doctor in Nicaragua?
Yeah.
Because she doesn't trust the American physicians? Aye!
Interesting.
Genius, your mother.
Okay.
Yeah. So. Did she ship water in from Tijuana as well because she doesn't trust the aqueduct system here? I see. So, wait a minute. Where's your mom from that she just picked Nicaragua?
We're from Nicaragua.
Oh, okay. I see. All right. And the doctor put you on the Depakote, did you say?
No, valproic acid.
Oh, I see.
That is Depakote.
I see.
Oh, I didn't know.
Thank you.
And
No.
Because I sometimes get these pains, and I'll breathe in, I'll hold my breath,
Karen,
and it makes it
Karen,
even worse.
All right, definitely not your heart, okay? Just
What
relax.
is it?
Well, what's wrong with you? Is there something wrong with you? I mean, mentally?
Yeah.
You sound a little nutty.
I
What's
do?
up? Yeah. Oh, yeah. A little's being kind, too. What's
Oh.
up? What's going on?
No, I just have depression.
Well, you don't sound too depressed. You just sound a little crazy.
I do?
A little bit, yeah.
No.
Oh, yes.
How come? What about it?
I listen, I talk to people all night, and I can always tell the crazy ones, and you got a little crazy in you.
No, I'm not crazy. I mean, I do have these things that I worry about, but I'm not crazy.
Okay,
I don't
but
think I'm crazy.
But look, any 20-year-old
Okay,
female,
yeah, I'm crazy
thank
then.
you, who worries about a heart attack is a little nutty.
No, well, if you got pains in your chest, wouldn't you think that?
No.
Not at 20. Not
hurt a lot. Well, not a lot.
Or females at 20 don't get heart attacks, okay?
Okay.
All right.
But if you have chest pain, it needs to be evaluated. So go ahead and see someone about your chest pain, all right? There's a zillion different causes. It sounds like you're describing musculoskeletal source of your chest pain, something called costochondritis. Very common, no big deal.
Right. Now, you may want to see a local physician unless it's a serious procedure and a delicate operation, and then, of course, we're going to have to ride you in by mule to Nicaragua where you can get...
Well, Nicaragua may not be up to it. Panama is probably more where she needs to be.
Yeah.
Right, where you can get a nice angioplasty by candlelight.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Okay.
All right.
You're fat.
Imagine going to Nicaragua for medical help. It's really like the punchline to some joke, Drew. Isn't that what you yell at your patients who don't pay?
Go to Nicaragua.
Yeah, go to Nicaragua. Get some quality care, you jackass. Joe?
Yeah, what's happening? Reason I'm calling, all right, I'm 28. I have a really good friend that I've known, or we've known for like 7 years. He's gay. And, you know, he's always been one of the strange ones, but a really cool guy, whatever. You know, we've helped him through a lot. He's been through a lot of, you know, crap in his life, whatever. But now I think he's messing around with like a kid who's probably like 15.
Wait, who is this guy, the 30-year-old?
Friend of his.
Just a friend. You know, we used to live next to him in some apartments. You know, we've known him for a long time.
I see.
You know, but someone we hung out with and helped out.
Who's we?
Gay Bob, right?
My wife and I.
Your wife and you.
We lived in the apartments before we got married, and we've known him for 7 years, you know.
I see. And what makes you think he's with this 15-year-old now?
Just like when he just recently moved closer, like to us, and he doesn't work or anything. He's home all the time. He's on disability. You know,
From what? What's the disability?
Working it. It started, you know, as a mental type thing.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be on medication, but he doesn't really need the medication. That made him worse.
No, wait a minute. People don't get on chronic disability for psychiatric reasons that don't need to be on medicine.
Well, he tried to work it that way because he was in jail already, and he didn't want to be in that portion, so it kind of just leaned towards that way.
Jail for what?
He was in jail for like it just happened to be with somebody who they had drugs in the car or something like that. Ended up in jail and didn't really like that portion of it. Didn't fit in so well, and he thought that either.
Joe,
Hey, do you have a sister who could possibly marry this guy? Sounds like a lovely chap. All right, so Joe, here's the deal. You think that he's feeling up some 15-year-old, right?
Yeah, and the thing is, it's weird, you know, and I found out not too long ago, and it really pissed me off. Apparently, like, when he was, like, 14 and he went off to camp and he was a kid, you know, he some older guy, a counselor or something was with him, and I was telling him, you know, that's sick, and somebody ought to beat that dude's ass. He should be found and buried, basically. You know, that's totally wrong.
Right.
And he was just like, no, I was into it, you know.
Right, because somebody got to him when he was a little kid.
Somebody turned him gay.
No, but somebody sexually abused him when he was a little kid.
And turned him gay. Joe?
Yeah.
All right, so here's the deal. A, probably not a great friend. B, if you think that this guy is screwing around with a 15-year-old, you should report him.
You got to call the police. And then stop idealizing him. He's a criminal. He's got psychiatric problems. He's not compliant with his medication. This guy's real serious trouble. And now he's damaging a 15-year-old.
Let me tell you the problem with everybody. I've done a fair amount of this with my friends. People you know, all of a sudden they're okay. Hey, he's killed a few people.
Right.
Sure, he breaks into hospitals and steals medical supplies and, doesn't pay taxes and beats his wife
But he's
a
such
little.
he's a nice
you don't
guy.
know her, but
Yeah.
he's a decent guy. He's no, he's an all right guy. You got to know him. It's
the
like
only reason he went to jail in the first place, he just happened to be in the car. Somebody else had the drugs. I mean, he just got a bad rap. Wait a minute.
I know. You know what's funny, too? Listen, I don't even care if someone is a criminal.
They don't go to jail.
I meet people that are a-holes, and people are like, Stu's a little bit of an a-hole. You got to get to know him. And I'm like, no, I don't. And they're like, sure. Once you guys spend like a good weekend together in Palm Springs in a bungalow, then you'll realize that Stu is like, why do I want to get to know a guy who's an a-hole better? You know what I mean? Yeah. And people are like, no. You'll find out one day. And I'm like, oh, who cares?
Yeah.
Although a lot of people feel that way about me. True, I must admit.
No.
They don't? No, I do. I get a lot of reports.
Of what? What do you mean?
Jimmy told me this weekend, he said, we just were hanging out with some people in San Francisco, and they thought I didn't like them. And,
just because of the way you behave.
Jimmy goes, I get that a lot. A lot of people don't think I like them. But
you don't.
But I don't. Yeah.
I know you well enough to know that's true.
I didn't want to say anything to Jimmy, but that's true. You're right. All right. Touche.
The only thing I like about Jimmy says to you is he tells you to just take it easy on me when you get outlandish.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah.
Crystal.
Yeah?
You're 16.
Mm-hmm. I was wondering if St. John's wort, if those really work or what.
Well, there's probably some effect from it. None of that hippie herb crap works worth a damn. Well, believe me, I just got done taking that kava BS. I was up all night with that garbage. I swear to God.
If you have a bona fide depression, then it should be attended to properly. Now, if it's severe enough that you need a pharmacologic agent, why not take one that's known to work as opposed to one that we don't know when and how much and what the potential effects are? And you should be treating yourself no matter what. You should need to be monitored carefully and assessed carefully. I mean, you'd be amazed how often depressions are actually precipitated by medical problems, thyroid conditions, anemias. I mean, almost anything you can imagine can present as depression. And so you very primarily need an evaluation to make sure it's not a medical problem causing the depression.
Let me explain what's going on, Drew, in real-world terms. There's a lot of tree-hugging, sandal-wearing, underarm hair-growing, granola-eating, Yanni freaks out there who don't like the notion of taking something that the man created.
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying?
I know.
And they don't want to be stigmatized. As to being on one of these mood altering, antidepressants or something like that. And there's a certain what they should really do with this stuff, like Prozac.
Yeah. Put in a root. Grind it up.
Just change the name of it every 6 months. Funzac. Scrotum sack. You know what I mean? Change the name of it because people think there's a difference. And here's the deal. You got a problem with your affect, you got a problem with your mood, so you take a pill. Now, who the hell cares if some Cherokee Indian ground it up in a mortar and pestle his grandfather gave him, or Upjohn made it in a factory in North Carolina? Who cares? You're taking a pill because something's not right with you.
But it's that fact that impairs people's or challenges people's grandiosity and sense of omnipotence. That is, admitting that you may be frail and need help and are maybe not perfect and maybe ill.
Yeah, but when the crap comes in a root form, you're enhancing your life.
Right.
When it comes
you're not really sick. You're not sick. There's nothing wrong with you. I'm just
you're sucking on a root.
Right.
How bad could you be?
Right.
But when you take a pill, it suggests that something's wrong with you.
Right, exactly.
So when you take St. John's wort or kava or any of this other BS, you are enhancing.
Right.
When you take a Prozac, you're fixing something that's broken.
Exactly. And that impairs. It all goes back to the narcissism that is so endemic right
Listen, if you need a pill, take a pill that works.
Talk to Mike, who's 20.
All right. Here we go. Mike?
Yes.
You're 20. What do you, yeah.
Well, what happened is I did about a week ago, I went to the hospital after doing a substantial amount of methamphetamines, and they found out that I might have a heart condition.
How much meth did you do?
About 2.5 grams of myself.
Did you tell them you would?
How long a period of time?
Within I'd say about a 15-hour period.
Did you tell them?
Yeah.
What's that?
You had done this? Did you tell them you had done this?
No, I didn't, because of, you know, I didn't want, you know, they found out anyways because they did a blood test and urine test, and they did tests, and I kind of lied to them and said, well, I don't know how it got there. It might have been slipped in my drink at a party or something.
Oh, my God. Oh,
Jesus
boy. So what is
Christ.
the nature of the heart condition?
I put him on hold because his line was so
Well, I
effed up.
got to know
All
what the heart condition was.
What's the heart condition?
They don't know. They said I had a heart murmur, and I have to go in for tests next week to find out.
You know, in my experience, that has been more associated with cocaine. Did you do a lot of cocaine, too?
Well, they said they found cocaine in my body, but what I did, what I was told that I did, was methamphetamines.
Well,
that was the only night you'd done the stimulants? Otherwise, you don't do them?
No, I didn't. It was just kind of, you know, I went to this party, and they were like, hey, do you want to do some of this? And I was like, sure. And then after I did some, and I was pretty high, I went and bought some more, and it just kind of went on for...
So you've never done cocaine that you know of?
No, never. I've never done it before.
So it was just a binge that night. And what did you go to the emergency room with? What was the symptom?
Well, they said I had an anxiety attack. I didn't breathe. I wasn't breathing for like a minute and a half, and my girlfriend called the 911 and had the paramedics come and get me because I blacked out, so I don't remember any of this, but I apparently fell and hit my head on the wall and was twitching, and my body, they said it atrophied, I think is the word.
You may have had a seizure. You might have had a seizure. The speed can do that to you, too. But listen, there's a couple things. One is that the cocaine is a powerful vasoconstrictive, so it can restrict the supply of blood to the inner surface of the heart. It can cause a dissolving of the sort of tendons that keep the heart valve stuck down, and so that can dissolve and the valves can start flopping around. So there might have been cocaine. Secondly, you may have just had
from one night, though.
Usually not. And though, secondly, this may have been what's called a hyperdynamic murmur. Just your heart is so overdriven by the stimulants that you hear a murmur, even though it's not caused by any significant heart valve problem. Mm-hmm. So get it checked out, and don't do that anymore.
Hope you didn't. And enjoy. Listen, 2.5 grams of crank is a ton.
Yeah.
I mean, I tell you, one time in my life I did like 2 small lines of crank and was going for a day, and I couldn't imagine. I mean, I'm trying to figure out, Drew, how many sort of average size lines do you get out of a gram? I mean, what do you think? Average size, 2-3 inches long by 1/8 of an inch wide.
I have no idea.
A gram of Coke.
8?
What would you say? I'd say a gram of Coke would be more like 10 lines about that size.
All right.
Wouldn't you? Yeah. The point is he's really 2.5 grams of crank. He's doing like 25, 30 nice sized lines of crank. I mean, that's crazy, man. That'll freak your ass out, brother.
Well,
yeah, Justin.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. You're 18.
Yeah, I am.
What's up?
I've been at work, and I work in the mall, and I work at a clothing store.
Yeah.
And I started stealing stuff like 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy,
what'd you steal?
Just clothes and stuff. Cause like I asked my boss for a raise, and he wouldn't give me one. And I kind of wanted to get back at him, because I was working for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what are you making an hour?
$5 minimum wage, $5.75.
Is that $5.75?
Yeah, it's $5.75.
All right.
And then I started telling my friends, like my best friend Fetty and them, and then I tried to start pleasing them. But today I got caught.
Uh-oh.
I threw all the stuff in a trash bag, and then I threw it outside, and my boss went outside, got the bag, brought it back in, and when I walked back in, all my coworkers and stuff were just standing there, looking down at me and stuff, and
yeah,
and this has been like a chronic problem. I started doing it every day, and it's like, damn.
So he knows it's been you now?
No, he doesn't know it was me, but he knows that I just did it today.
But I understand.
I don't
why
understand the chronic problem.
Why did you bring that up?
Because it kind of was a habit to do it. Every day that I would.
You mean you're not going to be able to stop?
No. I can stop. I mean,
why do you bring up in the context of getting caught? Why was your next thought? I've been doing this chronically.
Because I have. Because
okay.
I've
oh boy.
Let me talk to the lad. Justin?
Yeah, what's up?
Is this the first job you've stolen from?
No.
You've done it in other jobs?
Yeah.
Every job?
Not everyone, but...
Well, not when you worked at the douche factory for one summer. But, I mean... but most jobs you steal from.
Fertilizer farm, yeah.
Right. So you didn't have the plastic sewn into the inside of the pant pockets. You could steal the douche. But you do have a problem stealing, and it's not just this job.
Yeah.
So you'd like to stop?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Do you think you're a klepto?
I don't know.
Do you just steal at work, or do you steal from your friends? You steal from other places?
No, not that bad. I mean, just like from work and stuff.
All right.
He just hates the man.
Yeah.
Well, stop stealing because it's going to follow you around. And also, furthermore, though, get a job you like and that you're proud of and that you feel comfortable about and that you don't want to steal.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah, I understand.
There's something maybe more physical, something where you can, something where it's not...
Yeah, listen, it's not man's work to be putting price tags on sweaters. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You need to be out in the sun with a pickaxe. You know what I mean?
And a chain around your ankle?
Make it like a railroad or something.
Yeah, I get
we need to build some railroads.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
You know what I'm going to do when I'm in charge? I'm going to build a railroad. It's going to be one big circle. It's not going to go anywhere.
Interlock, a circle swirling in.
Yeah, it's going to look like one of those things you stare at to be hypnotized. It's just going to be. It's going to look like one of those cinnamon bun rolls. It's going to start in the middle. And it's going to keep spiraling out, and it's going to go nowhere. I'm never going to put a train on, but I'm going to put every hoodlum, every troublemaker, and every guy that needs a little energy to blow off on it. About 12 hours out in the sun every day. That's what I'm going to do. Railroad down.
You could just do a big circle and have two crews, one that tears up the track and one that lays it down.
Yeah, following, going the opposite direction? Or, following behind. Yeah, that's good. That's good. All right, Anderson, what do you got going there? You pointing at something?
I was just saying that was good of Drew to think that. And then when they meet each other, they could kill each other?
No, falling behind.
No, they'll fall behind and tear the tracks up. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You go that way, I go this way, but it's too productive. Yeah. All right. That's what I'm going to do when I'm in charge.
Ryan.
Hey, what's up?
You're 23.
I am. Actually, I'm anemic, and I want to know if there's anything besides iron to take.
Well, anemia is really not a diagnosis. It's a symptom.
Right.
So you need to find out why you're anemic, what kind of anemia, what's the diagnosis, before you can even begin to discuss what the treatment is.
Does anemia just mean lack of iron?
No, anemia means a low blood count.
Right.
And one of the causes of anemia is iron deficiency, but a 23-year-old with iron deficiency has to be losing iron somehow.
Right.
A male. That means he's bleeding from somewhere, and then you need to figure out where that is and what that diagnosis is. I mean, people have a real weird sense about what treatments are. I mean, treatments are rendered in response to a diagnosis. You know, there's no diagnosis, no treatment.
Well, okay, when I was 12, the doctor told me that I needed to take iron. I don't know.
Then maybe you have a thalassemia. What's your ethnic background?
What do you mean?
Are you?
Hold on a second, Brainiac.
Are you African American?
Hold on. I'm not going to let that. You don't have to explain to him. Just ask a question again slowly.
What's your ethnic background?
I'm Caucasian.
From what part of wherever?
Germany.
It's scary, but white people, at least in this country, we just think of ourselves like a blank piece of paper. Mexicans got Mexican writing on it. Black guy got black writing on it. Asian got Asian writing on it. White people, we just think of ourselves, well, we're not anything. People go, what are you? And you go,
I'm a mutt.
I'm like white. I don't know. Well, what do you mean? I'm white.
Right, but there are all kinds of anemias that you can have your whole life that aren't going to respond at all to anything because it's just part of the way your blood cells are being produced normally by you. It's a genetic issue.
Okay.
So you need to see an internist and have a proper diagnosis.
Yeah.
Now, Drew, you're saying if you could be losing this blood
you have
internally and absorbing it somehow?
No. If you're 23,
that's my theory. I'm going with that.
Your 23-year-old male becomes anemic. You pretty much, unless you are just a strict vegetarian and not paying any attention to your iron intake, even then it takes years to develop anemia that way. You are losing blood. 23-year-old is losing blood somehow.
Well, how do you lose blood?
But you have an ulcer or you have a polyp.
Well, that's what I said. You're bleeding inside yourself and absorbing it.
You're not absorbing it. It goes out in your stool. Somebody mentioned that he was anemic when he was 12, which suggests he's had anemia his whole life, and that's a genetic issue, something like a thalassemia or something.
All right, what has iron in it other than liver?
Red meats. There are sort of, I think, dark green vegetables.
Yeah. What about beets?
You have to supplement.
You look like you're losing a little blood when you drop one of those beet loads. Huh?
All right, so
Matt.
what is your problem, Matt?
About a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, was when I got off of butane. I'd been hooked on butane for about a year.
You're going to have to help me. I've never really seen this. Butane meaning the hydrocarbon?
Right.
Wow.
Like you can get the refill canisters. for
Yeah.
those.
Wow.
Well, when I was over in Germany, I was in the Army. There were some guys I knew, they had started doing it, and I was really skeptical about this, but they talked me into trying it. And I don't know if it's true, but what I was explained was it's opposite of other drugs that you don't build a tolerance to it. It breaks down your body's resistance to it. It works on the nervous system.
Yeah, it dissolves your nervous system.
Right. Well, I was going through
extraordinarily damaging.
About 2 to 3 refill cans a day.
It's probably the most damaging thing people can get involved with.
Butane?
Any of these inhaled hydrocarbons. Really,
What's the definition of a hydrocarbon?
A string of carbon.
It's got the smoke detector going on. What'd you do, fart, Matt?
No,
Mark farts and the smoke detector goes off.
What's that?
It's a certain group of molecules that they all form rings.
Yeah, well, not necessarily rings, but
Right,
chains
it's a
of
certain type of six atom
chains of carbons.
Right. But anyway, the effects of it kind of progressed over time, so that you keep getting more and more effects from it, until toward the end I was having full hallucinations, paranoia.
Right. You get psychotic eventually.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I want to know if you knew of any long-term effects from that.
Yes.
Now I'm going to see a counselor lately because I had some problems going on in my life.
Oh, absolutely. Depression and memory problems and personality changes and ultimately dementia.
You were hoofing 2 cans a day, 2 refill cans?
Right. I think they're like 8-ounce, 10-ounce
The
cans.
effects are profound.
How do you do that? Do you put it into a bag or something?
No, you just the way that the valve on the top works, you press it in and it comes out. So you just press it against your teeth and inhale it when it comes out.
Wow. Hey, thank the guys who turned you on to this. And Matt, couldn't you have just hit yourself in the head with like a drumstick from a turkey leg or something? I mean, you know what I mean? How about just like eating, eating something that's floating around the yard and just spinning around until you can't see anymore, and then jogging behind a bus? I mean,
are you addicted to anything else right now?
No, I'm not currently. I do smoke once in a while, a little bit of marijuana, but...
Were you addicted or were you just abusing heavily?
I felt really compelled. I mean, I would go down on a daily basis almost. I'd go down to the store, where the commissary, and I would buy like 5 cans, 6 cans at a time.
How long did you do this for?
About a year.
What did those guys think you were doing?
I have no idea. No one ever said anything to me. I would see the same people running the registers almost every day, and no one said anything.
It seems almost negligent. Not that it's their fault, but you're working at the...
Well, they can't know what he's doing. I mean, look, Matt, also...
Wait a minute.
Need to
Hold on a second.
Wait. You need to see a psychiatrist because this is a profound biological...
You sounded all right. For a guy who's been hoofing a lot of butane.
Surprisingly okay, yeah.
All right, listen. You're working at the commissary on the base, okay? Matt's coming in. He's buying 5 cans of butane every other day or every day. Young guy. By 5, a kind of a unique item. The kind of thing that, ironically enough, you probably buy once a year. Maybe. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? You know what those cans look like?
No.
They're little. They look like miniature. Let's say the size of a whipped cream can, half that size.
Yeah.
They're small, like a little. They look like a big, like a oversized cigar. Okay, and they have a little refill thing at the top that you depress, and you just put your lighter on top of it and fill your lighter up. Now, it's the kind of thing, like I said, somebody might use once a year or go through a can a year if you were smoking a lot of cigars.
Wow.
You got a guy coming in buying 3 or 4 cans on a daily basis. And you see the same guy over and over. You're on a military base. At some point, don't you go, just making conversation. Hey, what are you doing? You got your own store you're opening? Or how many lighters you got? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. Drew doesn't want to hold anyone responsible.
Andrew.
Hi.
You're 23.
23.
Yeah. What's going on?
I just had a question for Dr. Drew. Basically, like, I've always been really interested in, like, psychology and philosophy, and, you know, I endlessly read about it and just really, really into it. And then I started, you know, when I was, like, in high school or a little younger, I didn't really take any drugs, but I started taking LSD. And basically mixing it with...
Hold on, let me check with Drew for a second. Is that, they can count that as a drug now?
You can count.
Oh.
Count that in.
Boy, you can't take anything anymore.
No, I started mixing it with, you know, like a lot of things I was reading, and basically, like, I've read a couple books on LSD psychotherapy, and
Dated
had
when?
some...
Dated circa 1978?
1960,
yeah, basically, like...
That's all way outdated stuff.
Right, that's why I was more interested in talking to you, because I've had some extremely, extremely out there experiences, and, like, you know, I try to talk to my friends at Trip about it, and most of them really have no idea what I'm talking about, but they're really eager for me to basically try some of the experiments. Or
what are some of the experiments?
Well, basically, like, I've read about the atypical bad trips and how people are afraid of them, and how...
Atypical bad trip is the best thing that can happen to you.
Right.
Because that's what stops you from using more acid.
Well...
What is the atypical bad trip? A really bad trip? A severe bad trip?
Yeah, basically when fear just dominates the trip.
But isn't that just a bad... Hold on.
Bad trip.
That's a bad trip, right?
Yeah, but I found that if you can set them off, and I always set them off whenever I take it, so I have basically a bad trip every time I take it, but they're extremely powerful and really intense, and like some of the insights or, you know, interconnections or basically significance behind different events, you know, makes itself clear.
Like, give us an example.
Okay, well, like, basically I'd say the most powerful one I had is, like, I'll take the acid, then tie myself up, and then basically, like, turn out the lights or put on some static for music or put the TV on static, things like that. And if you basically, like, meditate while you're in that kind of state, then when you switch on the lights, you know, it's typical acid where you see, you know, demons or spirits. And
what does that do for you?
Well, it scares the hell out of you.
What does that do for you? Why is that a good thing?
Well, I don't know. I guess it's like some sort of addiction to the feeling of the overcoming of it. You know, it's that's the feeling that I want to recreate every time.
Well, it's like you're literally facing your demons by creating your demons.
Bringing them to face me, then I dead on confront them. And
all right, didn't I just say that, Stoner?
Yeah. I don't smoke pot.
All right. Well, you're playing Russian roulette. I mean, and the issue with LSD is a cumulative one. That the problems I see people get into is not because of a bad trip. It's because of having lots of good ones and continuing to use it.
Right.
And then eventually, aside from personality changes and some thought disturbances and some cognitive changes, which are real variable, the consistent thing I see is chronic mood disturbances, severe depressions that often don't come on for many years until after you stop using.
Well,
and then they are persistent and intractable.
I used to have, like, some serious problems with depression, you know, just basically staying in bed for days and days, and by doing a lot of this, it's helped me to work through a lot of it. Like, I've had an experience where I, like, saw some, basically, you know, heat at a distance. It looks quavering. I've seen myself walk through something like that, and myself, he started explaining basically events in my life that were going to take place, and he also, for hours on end, detailed a book that I was going to write. And of course, it could be some sort of, you know, subconscious thing where it's something that I already know I was going to do or wanted to do, and it's just basically making itself obvious.
Well, let's say it wasn't. Who would he have been?
Well, though it may sound crazy, I can see all the basically metaphors behind it, but he said that he was from a few years into the future.
All right. So you're on drugs when you do this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You're having a biological discharge of your brain.
Yeah.
That may or may not be an interesting experience for you, but that will, in all probability, have things that affect you or a consequence that will affect you the rest of your life. And it may not start really getting into you, really experiencing it until you're about 30.
Yeah, but listen, Andrew, let me ask you a quick sort of rhetorical question. when you go to sleep at night and you have dreams, those appear to be fairly real. Do you believe those are some message that are being delivered from some time that has not yet happened, or you just dream it? Is your mind just sort of working while you're out?
Well, basically the way I see it, it's all those things at once. It's a metaphor for something, and it's also real. Like, I'm basically, dreams are basically just as valid as day-to-day life.
Go read, if you want to read some
Listen,
stuff.
I dreamed my car got stolen, it got towed. That was my last dream I had. Well, it could happen, but it doesn't factor into whether it's going to happen or not.
Andrew, there's a book called Consilience out there right now that about 50, 60 pages into it goes through a nice little sequence about where dreams come from and gives some references, and you can sort of use that as a starting point if you want to understand what the biological events are that have been proven that lead to these phenomena that you experience.
All right, who do you got there, Drew? Eric.
Yeah, hi.
You're 18. What's going on?
Well, I was at the doctor's, I don't know, it was like 8 years ago, and I had pancreatitis.
Pancreatitis.
Oh, pancreatitis, okay.
From what? Virus?
Actually, I don't even remember. I just remember coming in really sick.
A 10-year-old with pancreatitis, that sounds pretty rare to me, but go ahead.
Okay. Well, I just remember he gave me a testicle check.
Yeah.
And I was kind of nervous there, and my mom was there, and I kind of jumped, I kind of just tensed up.
Yeah.
And when I did that, my doctor looked at me weird. He said, "What did you just do?" And I tensed up. He was oh, can you do that again? And what I actually had done was I had moved my testicles out of his hand, and he's all, "Well, can you do that whenever you want to?" And well, yeah. And it turns out, well, I've never heard of anybody else we know to do this.
What do you mean out of it?
Do you do that trick that my uncle do where the testicles look like it was in his hand, and then he'd go, "Oh, what's this?" and he'd pull them out of his ear?
No, I can just...
Sideshow.
I can just move my right one, my left one, 2 inches, 2 or 3 inches, at any given time.
So you can willfully do what's called the cremasteric reflex. It's normal to, right? When you if you go and jump in the ocean, what happens?
I haven't been in the ocean for a while.
All right.
Well, I got the world's dumbest listeners on this show. We really do.
You jump in cold water, what happens?
I don't have a pool. Listen, your scrotum goes up like the landing gear of an airplane. It's called the cremasteric response. Listen, God is no dummy. He said, "Listen, I'm going to need these nuts, and when you're running, you want those things retracted. Yeah. You don't want them bitten off by a shark. That's why they go up in the water.
In the ocean, especially.
That's right, especially in the ocean." And when the weather gets cold, they go up and hide in there.
If somebody grabs at them, they go up there. But to be willful, to be able to actually will it, that's unusual.
I don't know. I can do it 100 times in a second or something. I can just pull them up whenever I want to.
100 times in a second?
I'm sorry?
100 times? What?
Well, I mean, I can do it really fast. And I have a feeling that it has something to do with my abs or something like that.
Yeah, it is all tied together for sure. But, so you've figured out a way to consciously or volitionally control that. Okay.
Okay.
That's unusual. Okay. But it's not something that other people can't do. It's just other people can't do it under their own control.
You can parlay this into a few bucks in the gay pornography trade if you like.
How about what's that?
Sideshow.
Yeah.
Bill Rose. Jim Rose. Yeah. The Jim Rose Sideshow. You ever thought about that?
No, I haven't.
You follow the guy who lifts the anvil up with his penis. I can't understand people that enjoy watching that kind of thing. I really can't. But to me, seeing trauma to the penis is like a mother watching her child be, wrestled down in a headlock or something. That is my baby.
Danielle.
Hello?
Hey, you're 15.
Hey, yeah. Hey, you guys are so awesome.
Thanks.
Okay, my question is about ecstasy, Dr. Drew. Or Adam, you've probably done it.
Is it coming back again?
Hey, baby. Don't rush to judgment. Why, you cool? Are you home?
Me? What? No. No, I'm not.
Cool.
But I was wondering what the long-term effects are and really what it does to you.
Well, we're still learning about this drug, and there's all sorts of wives' tale out there about it. And strangely, the wives' tales are not nearly as substantial as the actual damage that this drug does, and yet the wives' tale are the things that somehow speak to people in a way that makes them nervous about the drug. The reality of the drug is it seems to be one of these drugs that does damage the brain.
It's real speedy.
But in rats and whatnot, it's actually been shown to cause dropout in brain cells, and it's a very serious concern.
Oh, in rats.
I have...
Wait a minute. Where the hell are rats getting this stuff?
I've seen...
Jesus Christ.
Personality changes.
We can't keep it out of the prisons. Now we can't keep it away from the rats.
Persistent paranoias, mood disturbances that are pretty substantial and seem to be rather chronic, but I don't know that they're permanent so much. There's a wives' tale out there that it drains the fluid from your spine. You heard that one?
Mm-mm.
You'll hear that one. And that basically is a story that got derived from the fact that when they originally did the studies on ecstasy, the researchers put a needle in the people's spine and drained the fluid out to study it. And it had nothing to do with the drug itself. But that in itself doesn't mean anything. Even if it did lower your cerebral spinal fluid pressure, the fact is it is a neurotoxin.
So what are the long-term effects? Like,
again,
hey, listen, Brainiac, we don't know.
Brain damage and mood disturbances and chronic paranoia, personality changes.
That's a long term, but you got to do a lot. You can do it for a while.
And we don't know how long is long term. We just don't know yet.
All right.
okay, but it can't kill you. Really? Just...
I've seen some people do some very bizarre things and dangerous things.
Listen, a bullet won't kill you all the time. You could get shot in the gut.
I've seen some real strange encephalopathies where people become sort of locked in. They can't move at all. You put the hand up in the air, it'll stay in that position, and they can't move their eyes, and they can't talk. And it is horrible.
Hey, Danielle.
Yeah?
Listen, you're 15. Just,
Oh, especially your age. I mean, the damaging effects on the developing brain are really potentially substantial.
I've done X 2 times. It's real speedy. You stay up. You can't go to bed. It's not the greatest thing.
Thanks, guys.
I'll tell you, I got higher on the Bible than I did on that X. You know what I'm saying, Danielle?
Oh, yeah.
All right, baby. Stick with the word.
Here comes blood, sweat, and tears.
Start sharing the good news. I don't think we got blood, sweat, and tears. Yeah. Well, what do you want? It's Westwood 2. All right, Brad will take a look. We'll be back. Can you fast forward on that disc to the part where there's that big horn jam? Yeah, well, what the hell? No one's listening. Keep going. Give us about 2.5 minutes in. We're playing a little blood, sweat, and tears here.
This has been Loveline.